G'day everyone, it's Tim Lewinberg from Kangaroo Island, and I'm really excited to be showing you today the Sandpiper Bag. Now, as you know, we've formed a not-for-profit here in Australia called Sandpiper Australia. You can look us up on the web, sandpiperaustralia.org. And really this is following on from the success of the UK Sandpiper Trust. Now, the Sandpiper Trust was set up after the very unfortunate death of a young lad, Sandy Dixon, and the attending doctor didn't really have the equipment or the training that was required to make a difference to this pre-hospital incident in a small rural community. Now, Scotland has been doing this for over 15 years. They've had over 1,000 Sandpiper bags distributed to first responders. And it would seem sensible to do the same thing here in Australia. We have rural generalist clinicians with broad brush skills in emergency medicine, and many also have skills that they maintain in theatre. So a lot of them already respond to incidents in their communities, but they do so without standardised equipment, training or clinical governance. And that's something we're keen to try and establish here for rural Australians. So let's show you the Sandpiper Bags. These were very kindly donated by the Scottish to Sandpiper Australia. At the moment they're still badged up with the Sandpiper logo from Scotland, but shortly we'll be going to the ones with the kangaroo, Sandpiper Australia. It's good kit. I've been using this stuff now for over a year as part of my pre-hospital responding in South Australia, and I really like it. There are tough handles, top and bottom. There's a carry strap, and if I flip it over, there's integrated harness for yomping long distances. There's also, just in here, a little pouch for an external sharps container. Now there's actually two bags. I'm going to unclip each bag, and they're cunningly held together by a concealed zip. So let's just undo, and as I come round, always a bit of difficulty on the top, you'll see that this pulls apart into two separate bags. The smaller bag is actually for the C component of CABC. This is for hemorrhage control. The larger bag is for airway and breathing. I'll take you through those in a little bit more detail using my packs. I'll just put one to the side, handy little pockets on the outside for documentation. And as I open them up, these ones aren't actually packaged. You'll see inside we've got tiny little pouches that whip out, translucent with large areas for labelling, and they're colour coded. Now this clamshell design is really useful. You can open and see all your kit at once. You can also pick up a bit of kit and pass it on to where it's needed. So very, very useful. Side pockets here, mesh for things like gloves, and I'll show you a packaged one in just a moment. Let's put down the circulation pack and open up the airway and breathing. And again, this is an empty pack. Just as I open it up, you'll see again the sharps container here. Tie down straps to keep everything in place, and here are a bundle of translucent Velcro attached pouches which can be used to individualise your equipment. What's clever here is an oxygen sock. So a C-size cylinder will fit in here, and that means your oxygen can be carried and contained. You also can actually run it out through the top here. And again, space for taking in airway and breathing, mesh pockets at the side. It's very robust. As I said, I've been using this in the harsh Australian environment for some time now. And I've had no problems. In fact, I've replaced my ambulance and retrieval packs with this stuff. There is, of course, as in most quality equipment, a rain cover down the back here, so that can be used if you do have adverse conditions. Although, frankly, the problem for us in Australia is more likely to be sunshine and dust. I'll just put this one to the side, and I'll take you through my packs if that's okay. So here's the smaller pack. It looks quite bulky now. I carry this in the back of my car, and I actually have it separate from the breathing and airway pack. So this is my circulation pack. Inside I have a range of Sharpie pens and documentation, and also my Viewituri, which is basically a cheat sheet of common drugs and resuscitation algorithms, etc. So we'll close that up. and we'll open up the pack proper. And this is where you see the clamshell design really come to the fore. There we go. This is for major hemorrhage control. A pair of trauma shears attached here, stethoscope, blood pressure cuff, an easy IO sitting in here, splinting with SAM splints for the pelvis, long limb splints, a Slishman splint, which is essentially one of the many femoral traction devices on the market. I like this one as opposed to things like the CT6 or the Prometheus, because it is actually quite short and you can use it for adult and child. You can also use it for bilateral femoral fractures. So it's very pluripotent in that regard. Using SAM splints to give extra conformational shape to my packs, and then IV fluids, IV access, wound closure, bandages. Again, designed to be taken out, and I can throw that across the room if needed, and everything I need to control major hemorrhage, tourniquets, etc. hidden down here in the major bleed module with quick clot, hemostatic dressing, Israeli or emergency bandages, etc. So that's the smaller pack for circulation, because the algorithm at the moment is CABC. So this is my first pack, or my first thing. I'll just put that to the side and I'll show you the airway and breathing pack. This is the larger module. Now I actually supplement this with the Scram Bag, also another Scottish product. That's the Structured Critical Airway Management Bag, and that's really designed for advanced airway, roadside, rapid sequence induction of anaesthesia. This is really for doing the basics of airway and breathing and doing them well. So again, clamshell design. I open it up. And what have we got inside? Oxygen masks, torches, surgical airway equipment, needle and finger thoracostomy, eye gels as supraclinic airway devices. The Suction Easy device, which is basically a handheld squeeze suction device, very robust, less likely to break than a lot of the other devices. At the other end is the oxygen box, and that can just flip out and be available, and some bag masks there with PEEP valves attached. Gloves in the side pockets here, and even a couple of chest tubes in the unlikely event they're needed for maybe massive hemothorax or a collapsed lung, where we don't have to do a finger thoracostomy because the patient's not under positive pressure ventilation. So, airway and breathing, and the smaller pack for circulation. It looks big and bulky. Total weight is probably about 12 kilos, and it can be carried on the back for a considerable distance and quite easily short distances. What we find is a lot of our responders are responding in their own vehicle, which of course raises issues about safety, so they need to be cognizant of that, or they'll often be picked up by a local ambulance and come out. The idea here isn't to replace ambulance services, the idea is to value add, and it's to provide a limited suite of meaningful interventions on the scene. So what does that mean? That means things like ketamine to facilitate dissociation for painful procedures, which might be reduction of a limb or to facilitate extrication. It could be fentanyl or morphine analgesia. It can be needle or finger thoracostomy. It's certainly going to be splintage and hemorrhage control. And again, most of this will be provided by the excellence of the local ambulance officers. In country, these are often volunteers, but they do a professional service delivered by volunteers. But the role of the doctor is to value add. We've also got a suite of medications which will carry, a lot of this can be supplied by the doctor's bag suppliers, or it can be sourced through the local hospital. Here in South Australia, we have a system to restock our doctors who operate under the Rural Emergency Responder Network. There are about 40 of them. At the moment, they're using ambulance bags, and I'm hoping in time people will transition to the Sandpiper module, given that it seems to have so many advantages over current kit. All right, I hope that was useful.